I'm Carrie, and my husband is Kelly, and this is our 2-year-old Logan, and we also have a 4-year-old Carson. Life kind of started at about 18 months with Carson when he just started having some speech delays, and I talked to the pediatrician and was just pretty adamant that no, this is a speech delay, that we need to get this research further, and so we were referred to Children's Therapy Center at that time. The speech therapist was noticing in therapy that he was doing things really hard, and he was really high gross motor. So he would like to run super fast, go super fast on the swing. He loved being twirled around. He also liked, any sort of hard input. We could lay on top of him and he would be a happy boy. His behavior was getting really difficult to manage, and he was just having, complete meltdowns, and it was really stressful on us. So I just kept pushing that no, we needed more help, more help, more help. We started seeing an occupational therapist at that point and started noticing that Carson has some sensory needs, and that a lot of his behavior and a lot of the activities that he chose were activities to make him feel better. When Carson was 2, we had Logan, and then when as Logan got older, 12 months, 18 months, we all started seeing the same things. And fortunately, it was actually less stressful the second time around. I knew exactly what to do and went to the pediatrician and said, hey, we need to get his speech evaluated. And again, we went to Children's Therapy Center. And when Christina was doing speech therapy with Logan, she was noticing a lot of things with Logan, that he was drooling. It was not uncommon for him to fall down just crossing the room. He would easily fall down and easily bonk his head. He always had bruises on his head. He would fall down and not even try to protect himself, fall down and not even put his hands out to stop his fall. So when Christina was seeing some of this stuff, and he also had the speech delay, she says, I think Logan would really benefit from a SPIO suit. And I said, yeah, they talked to us about that with Carson, and Carson, kind of being our behavior child, is really kind of set in his ways and was not willing at all to try the SPIO suit. But we thought, well, sure, we'll try it with Logan. Let's see, we got Logan's SPIO suit in August, and put it on him and immediately started noticing differences. His whole demeanor just kind of calmed down. He was happier. He wasn't as easily upset. He could walk across the room, especially at daycare when there were other kids around, and he wasn't falling and bonking his head as much. Probably around September, October, we started seeing his speech just shoot through the roof. He was trying to say words that he had never said before, and we were like, wow, this is pretty incredible, some of these changes. And our daycare was like, if you don't have time to put the SPIO suit on, please just bring it with you, because I'll put it on him, because she just saw such dramatic changes. He was just playing with the other kids better, again, wasn't falling. So in our opinion, we saw pretty dramatic changes with Logan. And I thought to ourselves, my goodness, if we see such dramatic changes with Logan, I wonder what we would see with Carson. Carson's behavior was very, very dramatic, almost to the point that he wasn't making any rational sense when he was having these fits. It wasn't uncommon for him just, if something didn't go his way, to just completely melt down. Whether that be at home or in public, or anything. He just couldn't make any rational sense of a lot of things. This summer, his behavior just got out of control. Out of control, let me give you an example. Logan was also at the same daycare. Love you. Logan was also at the same daycare, and Logan wanted to play with a toy that Carson wanted. Carson got so upset that he got up on the couch where Logan was and began to strangle Logan. All that Carson had in his mind was, that is my toy and I'm going to get it. But that's an example of how kind of out of control his behavior was. He couldn't even rationally think about what he was doing. Even got to the point that we started having a behavioral therapist come to our home. And we did behavioral therapy through her for probably a good year. And it helped a little bit. We were just desperate trying to find answers to figure out how to deal with him because our life was significantly impacted. Now we get to the SPIO suit with Carson. We still needed some more help with his behavior, and we saw such dramatic improvements in what the SPIO suit did for Logan that we're like, we've got to try this with Carson. So that first day that we put it on him with a little bit of struggle, but we did get it on him, and he was touching it, saying, oh, this is my Superman suit, and would take off his clothes just to touch the SPIO suit. By the end of the day, he didn't want to take it off. He actually went to bed that night sleeping in it because he didn't want to take it off. It wasn't long before we started seeing big changes in Carson's behavior. Again, he, like Logan, just kind of became a happier person, kind of settled down. He was very rational and able to handle and cope with a lot of things much better than he ever was beforehand, and is just so much of a happier kid. So Carson's result in the SPIO suit is a little more abstract. You know, we didn't have the drooling and the falling down like we did with Logan, but it definitely helped his behavior. And it didn't take long. I mean, only, you know, a couple days and we were seeing this behavior. And as you wear the SPIO suit longer and longer, you see more dramatic changes. It's like it's giving their body a complete hug all the time. And like I said, you know, both of my kids like that deep compression. They like when they have that pressure. And so it just gives them a constant level of pressure all over their body. Carson 6 months ago would never be doing what he's doing right now. Like Christina said when she was playing with him in the other room, he can better problem solve, think through what his choices are, and just it's just helped his brain click as far as what your brain's supposed to do when you're 4 years old. I don't know exactly how to explain a lot of the neurological things that it does, but yeah, you get to the point where you really don't care how it works and that it does work.